Ding, ding, ding. It's time to start. The champ is here. Tekken 7 is going down. I got my man Mark with me. First off, I got to ask you a question. You made an announcement of a tournament. Tell me about this tournament because it's about to go down for real, son. When they made that announcement, yo, I knew about it before y'all did. And I was like, yo, I can't wait for everybody to know because I want to see who's going to get destroyed. And now we about to find out. Mark, walk us through it. What's going on?
Yeah, so we are calling it the King of the Iron Fist Tournament for North America, aka the Tekken Tour. But it's a 20-city stop, and basically, what we're doing is taking the winner from all these Wizard World tournaments that we're doing, as well as some of the bigger fighting game FGC events like Final Round, CEO. So the next big event is, I believe, Wizard World Gaming Con in Columbus, Ohio. So we'll be taking that winner from there, and also Summer Jam X in 2 weeks in Philly. So it's going to end, and we're going to crown a North American champion towards the end of the year. We haven't announced the finals yet, but it's something to look forward to. But what we're seeing is like this crazy competitive play from the U.S. kind of people, Evo is kind of testament to that because there's 2 Americans in the top 8. Who would have thought, Geekmaster from Portland, Oregon, repping Portland. Wow. That's all those people out in Portland. Beat Nobi, who is the Tekken 2016 Tekken World Champion, as well as Evo's last champion. So, USA all the way. That's all I gotta say.
Now that's great. Now let me ask you a question, man. Just like for the fans, it's one thing to watch these tournaments on YouTube and stuff like that, but talk about what it's like when you're there. Like when you're there in the heart of the battle, that last match, that last round. Like, explain to them what it's like and why it's so important to the culture.
I don't really explain it. People who grew up on fighting games, right? They had that kind of experience playing against someone in an arcade. Basically, that's what it is, but times 100 because everyone's hyped, everyone knows the game, and everyone wants to see people duke it out and actually, win. So just remember that time when, you'd put in a quarter in every single arcade game and you'd lose. You always want to get better and better. So we're bringing that type of experience back in Tekken 7.
Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about was the story and the relation between Akuma and Heihachi. When we saw that, we was like, yo, like, how are they gonna make this work? How is it gonna fit in? Now, he already fits in in terms of the game engine and the way it plays. It's incredible. I said this on record before that the Tekken 7 uses Akuma better than Street Fighter has, in my opinion, in terms of feel, and that just blew me away. But from a story standpoint, what's the connection? Why is he there? Like, I think that right there is something that intrigues me a lot.
Yeah. So Tekken 7 is going to be kind of the epic ending to the Mishima saga, right? So it's kind of been this family-like blood saga between Heihachi, Kazuya, Jin. So even in Tekken 7, Kazumi's in here, and that's Heihachi's wife. So the connection to Akuma is Akuma and Kazumi had some sort of relationship. I got to tease you guys on this. And he kind of promised her, like, if anything happened to Kazumi, he would come out and kind of destroy Heihachi and Kazuya. So that's where the link is. Who knows what type of relationship Kazumi and Akuma had. That is to unfold soon.
Wow. Now, I want to talk about these rage arts. Right? So one thing I love about the game is how when it's coming down to the last hit and it zooms in, you don't know what's going to happen, and then when it happens, it's like, oh, it's like, I mean, it never fails. Like every time that energy is there. Now with the rage arts though, like it seems like you're taking Tekken to a new level in terms of how smart you gotta be in terms of spacing, when to use this. Now, obviously that exists in all fighting games, but this one, it seems more relevant and more prevalent as well in terms of the way you see it. Can you talk about the rage arts and how all that stuff comes together in terms of gameplay?
For sure. So there's a lot of new things in the game to make it, a little more accessible, as well as, to buffer that kind of spectator experience too, because, you want to watch it and get hyped up and excited too. So there's a whole new slew of tools, I like to call them tools, which are rage arts, rage drives, and power crushes. So, rage is coming back from like the Tekken 6 days, Tekken Tag days, and basically, when you're in rage, you're actually low in health, so you deal more damage. But at the same time, you have a rage drive and a rage art at your disposal too. So these moves, allow for an epic comeback. That's something that Tekken didn't have in the past. Yeah. But graphically, the animations for these are amazing too, so the crowd gets hyped on those. Also new to Tekken is the power crushes, and those are armored moves. Yeah. So it adds a whole new layer of kind of like the mental chess game, right? Because the rage drives, the rage arts, and the power crushes, they're all armored. But for the Power Crush, you can actually absorb a mid and a high as well, but you'll also can't take a low. So, you know, it's another paper, rock, scissors kind of mechanic to the game that makes it a little more exciting.
All right, now we're all to talk about Nintendo NX. Will Tekken have a life on Nintendo NX, or have you guys even worked with Nintendo NX at all? Like, because from what I hear is using the NVIDIA Tegra chip, the mobile chip, and that's a powerful chip. So I'm just interested to see will we see some Tekken love to Nintendo?
It's a good question. So right now, all we've announced right now is Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Steam PC. Those are the only platforms we've actually announced at this point.
All right, cool. Now, in terms of PC, right? I just got a new PC and I'm hyped. All right, so like, there's a lot of stuff in my life right now that I'm very excited about. But one of the things I was always excited about was mods. I think I actually did about this at E3, but you guys announced new characters and stuff like that, which is dope. I want you to talk about the new characters that y'all announced, but also like, from a fan standpoint, what's some characters that you would love to see in Tekken that probably won't make it into Tekken from a development standpoint, but from a mod community standpoint, you would like to see?
You know, that's a good question. And the possibilities are endless. Obviously, I'm a fighting game fan. I love all the other franchises, so it'd be awesome to see some. I'm not going to say who and what. Also, we have a lot of the anime games, within our portfolio at Bandai Namco. So it'd be awesome to see some of those characters too. I'm not going to say anyone specifically.
Yuffie.
You guys know what I mean. Put it that way. But you know, touch on the new characters. So we did announce Bob, so he's coming back.
Yeah. Love that trailer.
Yeah. And we also got Master Raven. So, you know, and now it's a girl. It's a female character. So we're touting her as kind of like the leader, like, Raven's boss, put it that way, from previous games. So that's all we're teasing about the storyline behind that character as well.
Now, from a story standpoint, I commend y'all on the way y'all presented the story in terms of how it goes from the cinematic to the gameplay. Now, let me ask you this. Is that something that's consistent throughout the story mode of the game, or is that just one particular scene and then it just goes into regular round 1 fight, regular round 2 fight? Like, the reason why I'm asking is because once I saw that, I'm like, I hope that's not the only part of the game that does that. I would love the entire story to have a presentation like that leading into your fights.
Oh yeah, so definitely what we've kind of learned, is that the single player experience is very, very, very important. We can put out a core fighting game and the mechanics are awesome, but what people are wanting now is a rich story experience. So what you see in that kind of story demo you played today is going to be throughout the whole storyline of the game.
You serious? All right, gotta hold the belt real quick. Gotta hold the belt real quick. He gets the belt on that. Are you serious? Oh my God! I can imagine where we gonna play like early next year. Now, multiplayer, right? I gotta ask you this. Now, when it comes to multiplayer, especially in fighting games, everything it's like it means that much more in terms of timing, space. People talk about the lag and everything like that. What's some of the things that y'all did this go around with Tekken, whether from servers to how you match make? Run us down the experience we can expect coming early next year with the multiplayer of Tekken 7.
Yeah, definitely. So with Tekken, it's been on arcades in Japan for a long time now, Tekken 7 especially. And that kind of arcade experience is actually pretty unique in that, at times you're not even playing against people sitting right next to you. You're playing it online in an arcade kind of environment. It's crazy, right? So Tekken historically has had an awesome netcode, Tekken Tag 2. Yeah, so you can see we are learning a lot of things from kind of that arcade networked experience in Japan, so people should not be worried about netcode at all for Tekken 7.
Dope. Now, a lot of people still asking me about Tekken versus Street Fighter. There's some people that's mad at you. They pissed at you. I'm being honest right now. So they like, yo, why is it we still not get? And then you got the audacity to show off Akuma. Now everybody wants to see what Ryu gonna be like. People want to see what Blanca would be like in running on a Tekken engine. I know you may not have a full update now, but did y'all at least get a chance to test out other characters in the Street Fighter world besides Akuma on this engine just to see what it's like? Is there anything you can share?
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no such game. What game do you speak of? So Tekken Cross Street Fighter, it's on hold right now. It's on hold. Obviously Capcom just put out a game. We're putting out a game early 2017, so it's just not the ideal time frame. not the ideal time frame. But who knows? Who knows what's coming in the future? I don't know. Let's just say, Akuma, he plays like a lot of other characters, so I could see how easily it could be to transition some other Shoto-style moves into the game. But that game is currently on hold for now.
On hold? All right, cool. Well, at least it's on hold and it's not canceled. Thank God. Now, I got 2 more questions for you, and then I'll let you go. Next question, and this right here, I like to ask people this, but when you first started playing video games, if you could remember the very first game, or just when you first started playing games, is there any experience that you remember back in the day that you was able to put in to Tekken 7, or you would want to put in future games?
I grew up like a huge fighting game fan. Huge! In the mid-90s, I was probably 5th grade, maybe 10, 11 years old, but I loved fighting games so much. I'd go to arcades.
Me too.
Competing, I was probably like 9 or 16, 17-year-old kid, And that was amazing. I remember specifically playing a game with a character called M. Bison. I'm not going to say the game, but I rallied off like 4 perfects in a row, and I felt like the champ. So, what we really want to do is kind of, put that same type of experience, put that same type of feeling back into Tekken 7. And I think with some of the new gameplay mechanics, as well as that slowdown that you see, it's amazing to watch and it's amazing to play.
Every time, no matter who's playing, when that happens, it's like, yo, final question, man. This is big. Listen to me, y'all. This is big. And I worked hard on this because I don't think anybody ever asked you this. Virtua Fighter seems to be dead. Virtua Fighter seems to be dead, and I love Sega. Akira. That was my guy. Jeffrey. I like Jeffrey.
Like Wolf.
Oh, you the Wolf guy? Yeah. All right, cool. I gotta ask you this question, man. Drum roll. Listen, if there was an opportunity for you guys to have a conversation with Sega or who's ever in charge of that franchise, and either bring those characters into the world of Tekken or take control over the franchise and give Virtua Fighter a brand new makeover and re-release it to the industry under the Namco umbrella, whatever it is, whatever it takes, how do you feel about, even if you got the opportunity to bring Virtua Fighter back and combine it with the world of Tekken, or combine it with the company Namco?
First and foremost, I got to give props for Sega. That was an awesome 3D fighter. It was known for being the most kind of realistic fighter, right?
Yes.
So I grew up with that a huge kind of fighter. Played everything. Awesome idea, and that's awesome. When I was spam us on Twitter and on Facebook, there's a venue for quests like this, and it is an ear for it. So I'm big on social media too. So I'm always kind of, going back to home base, like, hey, people want that. What can we do here? And Harada-san and Michael, those guys are all over Twitter, all over social media too. So if that's what people want to see, I would say we want to hear your voices. We have a venue and a platform for you guys to express those kind of things. Let us know about it.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, if there's a way where y'all can make that happen, put it like this, I'm going to say this on record. If there's a way where y'all can bring Virtua Fighter back to life through the Namco brand or the Tekken brand, I truly believe that Ed Boon would start speaking up like, oh, word, so you gonna get Virtua Fighter, y'all gonna do all of this? I think Ed Boon will step up to the plate and be like, you know what? It's time for someone to get a fatality, and I think Mortal Kombat will join that fight. I think that, imagine having Harada and Ed Boon in the same room. What you think would happen with that?
I can't even imagine.
You scared?
Props to Ed Boon too. I'm a big fan of his games. Amazing stuff with the kind of Second Coming of Mortal Kombat. The reboot, as well as all the Injustice stuff. So it'd be amazing. I think everyone's really kind of pushing the envelope in terms of fighting games, and it's a good time to be a fan of fighting games in general.
Absolutely. Look, Mark, thank you. Seriously, thank you so much. This is my man right here. Make sure y'all stay tuned to all things Tekken, okay? Early 2017 is going down. Stay tuned. Get your pre-orders ready. PS4, Xbox One, PC is going down. Your boy HipHopGamer on your Hot 97 every day. That's my word. And we out. Peace.